This is day 54 through 57, maybe even 58. Nah, it was 3 days. I took a reboot. I realized that I was putting all my energy and effort, not all, but too much of my energy and effort into, all of my energy and effort into too many different baskets. I was concentrating on trying to get sales launch podcast videos done, SparkEdge video content done, building the SparkEdge, the solar door-to-door team, then thinking about digital ads and just a lot of things that I'm excited about, but I'm trying to do all of them at once instead of just concentrating on a few of the first key areas of building a team that's generating money. Because then a lot of the other areas actually can happen. If I don't build SparkEdge properly, I'll have nothing to write home about.
This is The Sales Game with Josh McKay, helping solar business owners sell more, make more, and work less.
I'll have no end result that's worth this content even being shared. I do know that if I do focus my efforts on the SparkEdge door-to-door team and the sales team and get that up and running, that'll probably on its own be close to $1 million business. And then from there, everything else I'm doing is just for fun. It's all for fun, but everything else I'm doing is really, that's where the learning aspect of it comes in. And that's what I'm really excited about. So I get caught up in doing those things and forget, like, in order to do those things, I need the most effective way to do those things is going to be to have money. And the most effective way to get money is to make it. And I know how to make it through a door-to-door and face-to-face team. My name's Josh McKay. I'm the owner of SparkEdge and Sales Launch. I'm building a solar company in Australia that is going to do $1 million per year in profit, not revenue, and starting from an investment of $15,000. I was honestly starting to get burnt out. The last week, I was starting to get burnt out, and I realized that the moment that I decided to turn this podcast into a video podcast, I started putting pressure on myself to have good quality content. Yeah, I think the quality of content is okay, but it's more about the visual quality and making sure that the podcast is set up in a way that delivers a hook to start with and then has my intro and then works through it. And it just felt forced, and that's not what I wanted. On one thing, honestly, I do notice someone like Alex Hormozy, who I admire and inspires me quite a lot. I have noticed a shift over the last 6 months or so, maybe more, that geared his content to be much more, or maybe I'm just learning about the strategies and tactics that they use, and I don't really like the idea that I don't like the idea that I'm a product of utilizing all these marketing tactics rather than just having it be an interesting journey that I'm following. I feel like the content that he's producing and that his team's generating lately has been more about driving views, trying to get viral content and stuff. And I guess that's the aim for someone who wants to be that big. I think I've realized that I don't want to be that big. I want to be specific. And I don't want all the fame and everything that comes with it. I just want to impact. That's not even true. I'm not sure. This is why I took the week off. It wasn't even a full week. I didn't work very much last week, but I decided to take 2 full days off where I didn't do any work because I was taking these half days off and then feeling guilty about it and then realizing if I continue this on, I could see this going for months. So I was meant to go out to field last week and start door knocking because I have a cash flow issue at the moment. I've spent a lot of time building the foundations and not a lot of time building sales and leads. And that's hard because I am the only person. I'm shifting, not the only person, I've got Jerry helping me, but I'm shifting between so many different roles. And then on top of that, I'm also trying to build 2 different brands and then look at all these different avenues of generating leads. And I guess I was just feeling burnt out. And then when I'm saying things about even looking at Alex Hormozy's content, I think I got caught up trying to compete in some way in my mind, I've got to produce content that looks this good and delivers this type of engagement, and I didn't really like that feeling. So I don't know necessarily that it's not wanting to affect people on that scale. I think maybe I just want to do it in a slightly different way. And I guess that's the aspect of everyone having something to offer, is we all do something a little bit different. And yeah, I guess I'm just trying to share the experience. I realized that the most important things to me over the last few days is having fun and learning, growing, developing. I've known this for a long time, but it was just, I needed this time to reboot, refresh, and refocus, reprioritize, because I got caught up in trying to build this fucking massive thing in the next 5 minutes, and it was stressing me out. And then I was putting energy into the wrong place. So what I really need to do is I need to go out there, I need to knock doors, I need to get people on board, I need to train them how to knock doors, I need to generate leads and appointments so that I can attend those appointments and make sales, and then I need to train a salesperson. That's literally, it's pretty clear what I need to do, and I'm getting caught up in all the other, it's not even materialistic, it's like status things, like having high quality videos and posting regularly and fucking being a public figure or whatever it is. That stuff I think is fun, but it's not. Yeah, it is fun, but I was turning it into something that was a business, and I was looking at it in a different way rather than, I have enjoyed making these videos just to share my journey and to let people know that we're all probably going through similar things, that we'll have times where maybe we forgot why we started it and start getting carried away in things that aren't really that important. So I will do the video podcast because I actually really do enjoy making these videos, and if not for anyone other than myself. And that, I think, is what I'm realizing, is I need to do things that I enjoy for myself. And I know I'll be able to sustain that. I'll not be able to do it long term. If I continue making videos, it's because I'm enjoying them. And when I stop, which I didn't make any videos last week, I wasn't enjoying it. And I like that freedom rather than committing myself to, hey, I've got to post this every single time. And there's no allowance for being human in that manner. Even things like lighting, I was like, lighting and audio quality and stuff, like this mic is good, but even that's like an extra step. And if I get a light in here, then what I've got to do is I've got to get the light on, I've got to hook up the audio, then I've got to make sure the camera is set up. Like, it's just, the further and further you get into it, when you're doing it, I guess when I'm doing it all myself, these elements of like lighting and audio and all that sort of stuff, I don't really want to have to think about myself. And ideally, I'd have just a studio set up, like a room dedicated where I can push a button. I've heard of people doing this, where I can push a button, it starts recording, the lighting all comes on automatically, the audio and everything. It's not a mic that I have to literally wire up each time. It's like the setup and the audio is being recorded effectively. This requires money to set things up in the way. Well, I'm going to come back to the basics of, like I said, building a door-to-door team, generating good leads, good appointments, attending those appointments, making sales, and then training salespeople up. Once I've got a team of 5 door-to-door people and 3 salespeople, that gives me so much freedom to explore different lead sources like digital leads and Google AdWords leads, and spend a bit of money trying out different people to help either bringing them on board or getting our agency companies to help work with us, and not being afraid that, hey, if I spend a little bit of money here, that the agency is going to leave me high and dry. Like at the moment, I spent $2,500 on biz-focused leads, and right now in the stage of business, I need that $2,500, and they're not generating leads yet, and it's been now 3 weeks. So I've got to send a message and just say, hey, if I don't have leads by the end of the week, I'm going to need a refund because I need that money to cash flow the payroll and everything. This is again why I want to focus on the door-to-door, because when we've got at least 5 sales coming through every week, that's minimum sort of margins in the sales I'm going to have is $4,000. So that's $20,000 a week. Wages will be like $10,000 a week. We're going to have $10,000 a week to play with. And in that scenario, if someone's holding $2,500 of my money, it's not that big of an issue. It's still something I obviously will make sure, but it doesn't affect the business and myself the way that it can affect me. So back to basics. Stop trying to fucking have all my eggs in multiple baskets. I actually just forgot that I even had that $2,500, and it's putting cash flow pressure, which puts pressure on me to perform. And yeah, there's these little things, and it's exciting and it's good, but I'm not in a stage yet where I can really spend even $2,500 on testing new lead sources out. I need to go with what works. I need to build a team up in an area that I know works once that's going, because I know that's important to have multiple avenues, but not all at the same time, and not while I'm trying to grow everything as well. So it was a good few days off. I needed it. I honestly could probably say that it would be helpful to have another couple, but I'm at that point now where the cash flow is an issue, and I do feel better about going out there and knocking doors and just forgetting about all the other shit. Honestly, just chuck it all to the back. Wanted to share that because I think that's part of the journey of owning a business, is you go through these phases where maybe you've taken on too much, or you're trying to do too much, or maybe you're doing not too much but in the wrong area, and then you're not feeling fulfilled. And I guess that's definitely where I was, and so I had to just like take a minute and look within and look at what I'm doing and why it's causing me to have these feelings. Anyway, I'm going to probably limit the number of videos I'm doing. It might not be every day, but it'll be a couple times a week, I think. I'll make the videos as I feel. I've really felt like making a video today, so that's why I made one. Until next time.